All right, got some pretty big news coming out of Langley today. Langley Townhouse project in receivership owing almost $40 million. An 87-unit townhouse project in Langley that owes creditors more than $39.9 million is in receivership. The project, known as the Willoughby and located on the 20300 block of 70A Ave on the Willoughby Slope, was put into receivership November 8th, 2023. It was being built by Quarry Rock. Joel Groves made the order under the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act. When a development project is placed in receivership, a receiver appointed by the courts will try to complete or sell the project to get money back for creditors who haven't been paid. So they're either going to appoint somebody to sell the project as is to pay back, the people who have, lent out the money, or they're going to sell it to somebody who will then finish building out the project. The creditors include 𝐎𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐒 Financial Corporation, allegedly owed $29.6 million, Canadian Mortgage Servicing Corporation claiming $7.5 million, and Steelcrest Construction, which has a builder lien on the development for more than $2.8 million. Phase 1 of the project is partly built with a few townhouses finished and others in various stages of completion. So townhomes typically take like a year to build. 6 months before that, you're just getting your development permit and financing. So this project was likely being built in, probably the back half of 2021, if I had to guess, the back half of 2022. Yes, the back half of 2022 would make more sense. Right now, MNP is winterizing the project to protect the partially built townhouses from the weather. Our next steps are to assess the project as to whether to complete the construction of existing homes or sell it as is. Now, I'm not a lawyer, nor do I have a lot of development experience. It's not my area of expertise, and it's not the clientele I work with, but the people who bought these townhomes should get their deposits back, or somebody else will finish building out the project and they will get the product that they paid for. QRD appears to be facing a separate creditors court action over another nearby property, a 1.2 acre lot in the 7000 block of 204 Street. Lender Canadian Western Trust filed a petition with the BC courts on December 6 over a $6 million loan to another QRD holding company attempting to foreclose on the property. So, how does something like this even happen? My best guess is when they bought this land to build these townhomes, they probably paid a very steep price for the land because land did come down like 30%. Like we're talking like raw land. They probably overpaid for the land. Their pro forma had probably priced in much higher townhome prices because these townhomes in the back half of 2021 and early 2022 were selling for $1,050,000 to $1.2 million. And then these townhomes went as low as like $850,000. And today they're selling, low 900,000s, high 8s, mid 900,000s, possibly upwards of $1 million if it is a 4-bedroom townhome. So my best guess is it's not just one thing, it's a variety of things. Obviously interest rates are probably 3 to 3.5% higher than when they bought this site, possibly 4 to 5% higher depending. And, obviously prices are a lot lower. So what I will add to this is for the last basically year and a half, everyone's been talking about when is the pain coming? Where is the pain and suffering? How come there's nobody dumping property onto the market? Prices aren't going down quickly. There's no real fear in the market for the most part. And, the thing is there is pain and suffering in the market. There's just not enough inventory for the prices to go down. I see it every day. People posting on Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it, where it's somebody bought a townhome in Brampton for 1.2 and now they had to sell it for $850,000. I myself have seen it many a times in this market where somebody's bought a house for 1.4 and they just sold it for 1.2 plus PTT and all the other fees incorporated. There's a lot of people out there taking a bath, but the majority of the pain is not on the consumer side. It's on the developer side. Pretty much every week now at this point, you're hearing about some new developer in some city across Canada going bankrupt and going into receivership. And this is worse for real estate prices, especially in the long term. The pain happening on the consumer end would be a lot more healthy for our real estate market than pain happening on the development side. Because as of today, look at where we are already at for housing starts. We're at 220,000 housing starts for 2023 nationwide. And our population, we gained 1.2 million people last year. We're short 700,000 to 800,000 homes in the last year. And now you're seeing all of these developments that were part of these housing starts now either going to be delayed multiple years, you're going through the court process and the bankruptcy and the foreclosure and et cetera, or they're just not getting built at all. They sold, deposits are getting returned, it doesn't make sense for the builder to build them, and all of these things is going to put massive amounts of strain and stress on prices and rents as we go into 2025, 2026, because now we're like 2 full years of lower than normal housing starts paired with record high immigration. And my overall thoughts on this is like, you see all this data every single day, tons of people on YouTube sharing it, tons of people on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, sharing all this data about the housing market, how bad it is, et cetera. And my overall thoughts on that is like, this is true. However, a lot of this data changes from month to month. It's super fluid, right? Like, 4 months ago, fixed rates were 7%, and everybody's talking about how the people renewing at 7% are going to be completely screwed. Now those fixed rates are at 5%. So that narrative is kind of, died down a little bit, right? So all of this negative data, even the positive data, changes from month to month. But the only data that's essentially fixed at this point is the fact that we're not building very many homes, and we have a ton of people moving here. That is fixed data underneath all this other data at the bottom of the real estate market. We still have a very bad supply and demand issue. And especially if markets are now pricing in 5 rate cuts by the end of 2024, all I could say is, if I was buying my first home and I had the money and I was, prepared for the worst case scenario, I probably wouldn't wait to get into the market until 2025. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.